Hello, everyone. Another episode of the Sparky Coach podcast. Crowy here, coming at ya, getting up ya. Hope your day is going well, whatever you're doing. If you're starting the day, whoop-pow! Let's get the best day ever. If you're ending the day, whoop-pow! Snap out of it. And Arctic Monkeys, that AM album is sick. God bless the Arctic Monkeys. My friend's kids band just did a cover of what's that song called? I bet that you look good on the dance floor. This is such a good song. Turn this off right now and go listen to them. Nah, don't do that. I need my Spotify views. Don't really care about the views, to be honest. As long as we're getting some results for people, that's it. Want to talk about something today that's creeping up slowly. Taxi ride time. Bit of TLC, creep. It's creeping up slow. What is it? What am I talking about? What do you think? What do you think's creeping up slowly? I think a bit of negative energy. Occasionally, a bit of that, like I was speaking to someone the other day who didn't have much work on, and let me preface this whole thing just by saying that's probably going to happen to you at some point, that you'll land with not much work or quiet. And what I would encourage, like I always ask myself the question, if I was starting a business tomorrow, like an electrical business, what would I do? I would definitely take more admin time than I needed. I'd definitely buy some good knee pads. One of my mates had this steamer, like a wetsuit, and he cut like a couple of probably like 100 mil above the knee and 100 mil below the knee, and sewed it up. And he's like, these are the best knee pads ever, man. You got to try them. You know when people get crazy and they're like, you got to try this, man. This is a new thing. Like, this protein bars, this is the sickest thing. And you got to try the Thai restaurant, man. Like, he was like crazy with these knee pads. I don't know if he ended up selling them, but I think he was wearing them in the general public from time to time. No, he wasn't really. Knee pads, massively good investment at the start, though. Save those knees. Save the whales. Save the knees. That's what's going to happen. Anyway, what was I even talking about? Creeping up slowly. This guy was like, my wife was driving through on the way to town, and she saw 7 electrical vehicles. 7! 7! 7! And I'm like, and he's like, that's why we've got no work, because there's so many people are starting their business, and the recession's around the corner, and buy some extra flour. Open the panic room, Jodie Foster style. Bust out the rations. Forget the 2 cups of rice. 1.5 cups of rice, baby. Can't afford that extra half cup of rice. I guess that scarcity mentality, that fear, that it's interesting, like reading into recessions and stuff like that. I'm not saying we're in a recession or not in a recession. I don't really care. I don't think you should buy into that stuff. I think you should turn the news off to some extent. I'm not saying bury your head in the sand about everything. I'm just saying certain things won't put you in a great headspace. Certain conversations, like have you ever walked into one of those conversations and someone's like, did you hear about the current market? And you're like, I know. It's like doom and gloom, and it's just like, everyone's trying to be the guy from The Big Short, like that's really smart and they want to make a movie about them, and they said that's going this, and the property market's doing this, and the banks are falling. Like, you can get really swept up into sort of a lot of negative energy, a lot of fear. And I want to just, you just got to step back and go like, okay, what can I do? What can I do, and what am I doing? I don't think you should buy into any stuff like that. People just aren't spending money at the moment. Can I just encourage you? I'm encouraging you. Lots of people are really busy right now. Let me say that again. Lots of people are really, really busy right now. That's not to belittle anyone. That's not to speak down on anyone. That's not to discourage anyone. I'm not saying you're not trying hard. I'm just saying your mind's got to get out of that sort of lack. Your mind's got to get out of the lack. And I want to tell you a few stories. I remember I've been around for some time. You might not tell by the beautiful, gorgeous skin and a couple of grey hairs here and there. Lots of grey hairs actually. But I remember going through some sort of downturns in the economy while running the electrical business, and I remember it was really interesting because it was like money was tight for lots of people, and I remember this bakery we used to work at literally just went bananas. Like Gwen Stefani, Banas. Gwen Stefani, am I right? Well, not really my type, but I definitely appreciate if you know what I'm saying. What is your type, by the way? I don't really care. I'll just ask you, just trying to make some awkward conversation. If you're driving next to someone, just look at them in the eyes and just say like, yeah, this is awkward. Where were we? Oh yeah, this bakery just went bananas. Like it was about a football field sized bakery already, and they sort of bought another one that backed into it, and they cut this big hole and connected the two, and that was us 3 to 5 people for 12 to 18 months. Like not to mention the ongoing maintenance that went on with that. It was actually incredible. So I was looking around at people going, and they're like, oh, it's so hard out there, and I'm like, we're hiring. Like I'm trying. Can I buy you? Like, what can I do? Who's gonna come work for me? What's your mum doing tomorrow? Does she want to come put some knee pads on and crawl up in the roof space? Does she? I don't know. Maybe she does. What's your mum doing? Is a good question to ask. It's funny, ever since like losing my dad, I get that didn't mean to cause any emotion for anyone. Probably didn't even say that, but like if you've just lost your mum or something, that sucks. I'm genuinely sorry. All right. So, and this bakery was like cooking, and we were throwing stuff at it, throwing materials at it. And we couldn't get enough people to this thing to do it. And then we had this going on. And what had happened was a larger company had invested in them. And here's probably the biggest thing to take out. I think someone said it. Maybe it was that Warren Buffett guy. It's a great statement. No matter who said it, no matter what they've done, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, no matter what you did, as long as you love me. It says, when others are fearful, be greedy, and when others are greedy, be fearful. Just like, I guess, how do you put that in like a recession sort of standpoint? Every downturn is someone's opportunity. Every downturn is someone else's opportunity. So for some, it's a downturn. For some others, it's an opportunity, right? So this bread, what do people do when times get tough? They start cooking at home. They start doing things like that. In this case, they started shopping at the major centers, buying bread, and this place was making a lot of bread. And it was like we ended up going nuts because everyone was buying more bread. So the flow-on effect was my electrical business was hyper busy because of a downturn in the economy, right? I hope everyone can see that. Another guy we worked for was absolutely, and like, I think they were worth like $800 million. So if you can wrap your head around that much money, I don't even know how many zeros that is. Probably 100 million. So like, but and I'm like, so in a low market, he's buying up. Him and her are buying up, right? Because it's like an opportunity. And when they buy and they renovate, guess who does the electrical work? Hello, I'm coming. I'm already at the front. It's like, do you mind coming? I'm already at the front, babe. And so it was like my encouragement to you. And developers are the same. So like, if you're gonna do a development and you can buy land for high or buy land for low, what would you do if it was your development? What would you do if you're buying land? Alone in the bedroom floor because you're hungry. Anyway, what were we saying? So try and snap out of that. Like this is a great example. I remember, like it's certain times when the residential service and maintenance, like it will have an effect on certain people. 100%. I'm not saying that, but you've got to diversify your portfolio enough so it doesn't have an effect on. Like try and find people that it doesn't have an effect on. If you hear what I'm saying, certain people still spend money regardless. Do you really, if you're worth $800 million, do you really care if you're worth 800 or 630? Chances are No. No, probably you don't, right? So very, very interesting to note. Find yourself a clientele, a client base that's hyper diversified. Also with diversification comes option diversification. So you would have heard me talk maybe before that I did my aircon apprenticeship but finished a Sparky. But at the start of electrical business, we were doing aircon and electrical, and we were just trying to diversify too much. It probably shot us in the foot, and I saw a great opportunity in electrical world, so we jumped into that, dropped the aircon. There's a point where you can pick that stuff back up again. Maybe diversification at the start is the thief of joy, because you're sort of jack of all trades, and if you've done a lot of aircon, solar, electrical work, you know it's same but different. If you're really, really good at solar, some people are amazing electricians, but they can't walk on a roof because they're just uncoordinated or lack the spatial awareness or something like that. So it's like, at a certain point in your business, diversification can be the enemy of growth and healthy growth. But at some point, at that 4 to 6 sort of staff members, you might go I can branch out into aircon as well. I can branch out into solar too. I can branch out into electrical too. I can branch out into home automation. I can branch out, as long as you're not the sole expert in that area, forced to do everything and be the jack of all trades. You just don't want anything tying you personally down to the tools. As you grow the business, you don't want to be tied down to the tools, or tied down to where you're the expert and no one else can do anything but you. Talking to two people here, micromanagers, control freaks, but also talking to people that go, okay, I'm currently got a success happening in this realm. I'm spending too much time opening valves on an aircon unit, or over here, maybe I'll employ someone in that space. You really don't want to be tied down as a business owner and be the only person who knows what they're doing in your company. It's very hard to do anything that way. Very hard to go overseas, very hard to have a break, very hard to do this, very hard to do that. You put your name on it. But I want to encourage everyone, don't buy into any negativity, right? You write your own race. You run your own race. You've got to be aware. Yes, maybe there's certain times cause for certain things to happen. A lot of people that grow their business to 10 or 12 staff and end up in that sort of more projecty space will eventually jump back into service and maintenance too, even if they didn't major on it at the start, because service and maintenance is a fantastic way to fill gaps between projects, and it's a fantastic way to make a lot of money, to be honest. That's when you can be 150, 160, 200% efficient, 300% efficient in that small job. It's very hard to be 300% efficient on a $500,000 job, but over a $5,000 job, 100%, because the difference between 20% at 500 grand is $100,000. At 5 grand is $1,000. So if you're $1,000 different on your quote, it's quite easy to communicate why you could be $1,000 different. If you're $100,000 different, you'd want to have some pretty good reasons. They didn't include this. That it's like they've missed a portion of the quote. That's very, very hard to come up with any sort of objection handling or any sort of comment about that, right? So my encouragement to you: don't buy in, right? Buy into the positives. What are you excited about? What's going to happen in the future? Who can you reach out to today? Who can you touch base with today? Whether that's a client or a staff member, eventually your job is heading towards find work, find staff, keep staff, quoting. Say that again. Finding work is great, but don't forget about keeping the work you've got. Unless the clients suck and you want to get rid of them, right? Finding staff, great. Hiring's great, but don't forget about keeping the people you've got. Once again, unless they suck, right? And then you want to get rid of them. Quoting, there's a certain point of quoting that will hopefully eventually be handed off to someone else. First and foremost, the quoting pathway to hand it off is usually administration at the start, doing the bits and pieces. Maybe an expert, i.e. you or someone else, runs their eyes over it. Eventually, it's a trainable skill. It's a teachable skill that someone can learn and someone can pick up. So try not to be the jack of all trades, the all-seeing eye, the Saruman. Is Saruman the all-seeing eye in Lord of the Rings? Can't remember. Great books, Lord of the Rings, by the way. But Don't buy into it. Buy into hope. Buy into that there's lots of work around. Buy into the fact that you're going to find the right person at the right time. Buy into the fact of work-life balance. Yes, I will achieve it. Buy into the fact of I'm not going to work weekends anymore. Buy into what you want. That's what you want to do, and set your course, set your mind, and go for it. And when you feel that negative energy sort of creep in, go book your Pilates appointment. Go book your yoga appointment. Go book your surfing appointment. Go book your hair appointment. Go book your nail appointment. Go book your toenail appointment. Go book something and look after yourself and look after those people you love, and you'll do some really, really good things. So thanks for hanging out. We are Sparky Coach, and we love you. That's right, the L word, not L-U-V, L-O-V-E. Peace.